Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi. How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
I'm fine also. How is India?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I thought we'll just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, let the people
Okay,
join in, and
okay,
we'll
no
begin now.
problem. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. You can wait.
Okay. So we have with us Valskis, who represented the Lithuanian national team. He was the
Yes.
Golden Boot and the best player in the A-Liga, the top division of Lithuania in 2013. The Golden Boot ISL he holds for the season 2019-20. Winner of the Baltic League 2008, Israel State Cup 2016-17, and
Yes.
runners-up in the Lithuanian Football Cup, Lithuanian Higher League, and Belarusian Cup. And of course, as recently as a couple of months ago, the ISL 2019-20 season. So, to begin, Vasquez,
Yes.
so how are you? How is everyone in your family? What's the situation in Lithuania, and how are you spending this lockdown period?
Oh, when I come back from India, I go to lockdown for 2 weeks alone,
Mm-hmm.
and after I go with family, and I staying
Mm-hmm.
with my kids always. In Lithuania, it's lockdown. Nobody can go outside, like to kindergarten or somewhere. That's
Correct.
why I was a lot of time with my family and I spend time at home, and sometimes go outside to walk in the park, nothing more, always with the
Yeah.
family. It's normal.
Sorry. What about the fitness? Have you been keeping fit? Do you hit the gym? Do you work out during this off season? This forced off season, rather.
After a season, I take 2 weeks off, to be fresh, to be ready for another season. And
Mm-hmm.
after 2 weeks, I start to work at home. After start to running outside, like everybody, to be a little bit fit. You never know when you must to come back to play football. Always must to be fit.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm pretty sure the people who are tuning in right now, many of them are footballers at various levels, at amateur level or semi-professional level. Um, from a professional footballer like yourself, what advice would you give them? Um, uh, what would you say to them, to those who want to take football as a serious career option?
No, always you must be focused what you do and to work hard. Without hard work, you cannot be a very good player. Always you must work hard, and after you get some talents, and after with the talents, you start to play good football.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's wonderful. So, uh, to all the fans listening in, why don't you tell us about how you became a professional footballer? Like, what was your journey like? What was the beginning? Uh, when did you start, and how did it culminate to the 20th of May, the
Mhm.
point we're in right now? And who was your inspiration? Who's your role model?
When I start football, I don't think about like professional. It was like fun, to go outside to play with the friends, with the kids. But I started football. That's what my brother was a football
Mm-hmm.
also. He played, but he didn't stay a professional player.
Yeah.
And he showed me what I must to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
start, and after I see what I have some talents,
Mm-hmm.
and I start to think about football every day more and more. And after I see where I am now.
Yeah, and who was your inspiration? Like, who is your role model? What made you join football? Who do you
I
look
think
up
so.
to?
My brother, and after idol, it was Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, a
Uh huh.
lot good players. All the world follow them, and everybody want to be like these stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now in the world there are about 200 FIFA member nations. What made you come to India? Why India?
Why?
What made you come
Uh,
to this country?
I want to. I accept new challenge, you know. And before I was in Thailand, in Israel, in Belarus, in Latvia, you know, I want to try something new, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
when you go to holiday for 2 weeks, you didn't understand this country, you know. You must live
Mm-hmm.
like some 6, 7, 8 months, then you understand how people live, how they what they eating, and that's why I like to take some new challenge. And when I get a call from John Gregor,
Uh-huh.
I think what I have, what I want, and I take this
Mm-hmm.
decision to come to India to play football and enjoy, you know.
Yeah. Before you came to Chennaiyin FC, had you visited India before, or was this the
No,
first experience?
no. It was the first time, and I don't know what I can accept, you know. But normally, what I get in Chennai, it was top class, you know, from
Mm-hmm.
management, from people inside the team, you know. Everybody take care of football players, and they give the best for them what they can play football and don't think about nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of Chennaiyin FC, Chennaiyin qualified for the playoffs in spite of struggling through the initial phases of ISL. How would you describe the comeback from the bottom of the table to reaching the final? Uh, a
It,
lot of people didn't expect Chennaiyin to actually make it in the final, but
Mhm.
they did. So what was inside the team's mind? What was the mentality going in towards the games?
No, I can't tell one word. This was a miracle what we did, you know. First of all, and
Mm-hmm.
second, we start very bad season,
Mm.
and we start to find like first 11 who can play in the pitch, you know. And when we get some couple games, no goals, no wins, no points, it was
Yeah.
very not. It was very bad for us, you know. Nobody happy, you know. Everybody talk. We cannot score goals. We must to change all players who playing attack. You know, it was a little bit pressure, but you know, we football players, we always like to play under pressure, and we start to believe what we can. But in the couple 4 5 games, we after this we don't believe what we can go to top four. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
we win one game again, Hyderabad. After I think so, we take drove against Odisha, and it was a surprise what John Gregor go out and
Mm-hmm.
change coach. And you know, when you change coach, it's good for the team. You know, a little bit reaction. You know, and everybody start to show in the training what everybody want to play in first 11. It was like
Mm-hmm.
a good shock for the team, and you know, in that time we start to win. We start to believe coach should come a little bit to change something, you know, and we start to
Mm-hmm.
believe. And we after coach say we can for sure. We go to top four, and we start to believe, and we come.
I think that's I think that's quite wonderful because this what you explained is not just about football, is it? You can perhaps apply it in any field in life, and
Yes,
the thing is, if you work hard and put your mind to it, and you have that kind of a support system, you can really excel. Whether it's football, whether it's any other sport, whether it's studies, whatever, right?
yes.
Um, yeah. So, talk us through the final against ATK. What went wrong?
It was, I can tell it was 5 minutes very good. We have a great couple chance. We start very well. I have a very good chance and put to crossbar. Rafael, I think, so also have a good chance. And you know, when you didn't
Mm-hmm.
score, after we did one mistake, and everybody knows ATK. ATK,
Mm-hmm.
very good team on defense, you know, and very well
Yeah.
playing in counter-attack. And they score goals. They score us. It was very difficult to come back, you know. We try, we keep the ball, control the game, but you know, in the end, we cannot find the net, you know. and goalkeeper was that game amazing what he did against us. But it's football. We try, but it was sad. But win better team this day.
Yeah. So you happen to be the only Lithuanian player in the ISL this season, and you were also the Golden Boot winner. So how did that moment feel? And did people back home were they proud? Did they give you calls? Did they give you virtual hugs? How did it go?
Yeah, it's very fun, when you're coming like a country when never been some Lithuanian players. It was also in India. I was the first in Thailand also. It's for me it's not first time, but it's of course after season I get a lot calls, a lot calls from to give some interview, podcasts. Everybody interesting. How is the league? What is the level? It's I show them what it's very good league and level also, and I like what I get, in this country, and I hope I come back one day.
Yeah. Speaking of coming back one day, I know this is probably not the time and place, but is there anything that you can tell us, perhaps, on whether you're coming back? Is there
now
anything you're looking forward towards?
Now I don't know
sorry,
about.
I missed you there.
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, about comeback, I don't know. Let's see what's happening. But now I speak with one team outside India. India, with Chennai, didn't speak already 2 months. Management with me don't speak after season already 2 months, I think so. Okay. I have some one offer, I think so, from Hyderabad. With Kerala, it's Kerala was only rumors, nothing special. What I know, agents don't talk me. And from India now, I think so. India, it's waiting. I don't know what they're waiting. They're sleeping.
Yeah.
So now, if they sleeping, I looking another countries, But I think so. I stay in Asia, but I don't know, India or another country. Let's see.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of uncertainty right now, right? Nobody knows how this is going to play out. It's devastating for many, and the entire football industry has taken a tumble. So I think it would be interesting to see how we bounce back from this situation as the broad general world football community.
Yes.
What about the Lithuanian football? How has that been affected? Are players facing hardships? Are clubs facing hardships?
Now they already start to train all team. I think so. The first game they have June 1.
Okay.
June 1. After 11 days, after 12 days they already have a official game. And they continue what they start. And if you see Bundesliga start, Italy soon also start. Everybody start to play football, without supporters, but they must to finish season. And in Lithuania, it's a good situation. It's virus, not so much cases, and here it's good situation. I don't know how is in India.
In India, it's a lot of people are facing hardships, not just due to the virus, but also due to getting stuck away from home, not having income, and so on and so forth. Speaking of payments and all of that, you see a lot of Indian clubs have been called out for not paying their players promptly. Why do you think that is? Do you think the ISL system is sustainable?
I don't know. In Chennai, I didn't have any problems. They pay everything. Only they cannot pay now for us only last salary. What is now lockdown? Everybody understand. But
Correct, correct.
how is Chennai working for this? It's very nice. But I hear
Hmm.
some teams didn't pay, like Kerala, like Hyderabad. They have some financial problems, and it's not fun, not nice. But sometimes it's happening, and I hope will be okay for all players. And
Yeah.
let's see. But
And
what how I understand, everybody finish season. Everybody must to get what they offer and what they agree.
correct. I mean, irrespective of the performance, every one of the player in every team in
Yes,
the ISL put in their 100%. And
yes, true.
out of respect for the profession of football, I think they deserve their due. So before this interview, I
Yes.
just went to the ISL page, and in the YouTube channel, I went and watched a couple of your highlights. 15 goals and 6 assists. So, which one of these was your favorite? Like, what is the most memorable one to you?
Goal or assist?
Both. One goal, one assist. Let's do that.
Uh, Goal, it was for me Hyderabad. It was very important for me, for all team to get these 3 points. And it was maybe not a very beautiful goal, but it was important goal season, for me, for my team, for my teammates, for the club. And assist, it was, I think so. Which one? Uh, I think so. Kerala to
Hmm.
Chante when I give assist. It was also nice with one touch, and he scored nice goal, and it was a beautiful win also.
Yeah, yeah. So in Chennaiyin FC, you have a lot of young, upcoming Indian players. What would you say about 𝗬𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 What would you say about him and some of the other young Indian players like? Uh,
He's good player. He's good. He's talent. He's like work hard. Only he must work for last decision. And it will be okay. When you going older and older, you understand why you're doing some mistakes. But he's young. He's talented, like Tapa,
mhm.
Chant. Also Edwin very well start to play in middle. We find some good players in this season.
Yeah, yeah. And um, so India being a huge country, it has a lot of potential footballers, and yet for some reason we keep coming outside the top 100 ranks in FIFA.
Yes,
What step do you think India should take to build a strong national team for the future?
they must to start to build from the young kids from 6, 7 years, not from now. They must to
Hmm.
start to work from academies. They must to bring some coaches from outside, maybe local coach put outside to get some experience, and they come back. They will be more stronger than now. They must to know football more than what they see in India. You must
Hmm.
always to go some countries like England to Italy to for some 1, 2 weeks to for experience. When you come back, you can teach kids
Correct.
and level go up for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. So there are a lot of there's a lot of dependence on um, foreigners, and I'll put you on the spot here. You
Yeah.
are one of the foreign players, but
Mhm.
um, if you see, all the ISL teams had a foreign coach at the helm,
Yes.
um, and most of them relied on their foreign talent as the backbone structure of the
Hmm.
team. Um,
Yes.
do you think that's healthy for the Indian football ecosystem? Do you think we should have the 3+1 rule that we have in that other Asian countries have?
I don't know. It's very difficult to say about this. One coach like play with more foreigners, another coach it's enough for less. But normally, I think so 3+1 it will be difficult. You must like go down from 7 to 6, from 6 to 5, and every year to go down. Not like 1 year they come. ISL, I'll tell for the clubs, you must from 7 foreigners to come to 3. It's very difficult for players and for locals, and they get a lot pressure. If you look some games when they playing only Indian players, they playing different. When they playing together with foreigners, they have more confidence, and they must learn more and more.
Yeah. I think that you've made a sound point here. You did mention that players and coaches have to go abroad and gain some experience and come back. Which Indian player do you think has the ability to play?
Sorry again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So I was asking which Indian player do you think has the ability to play in the top leagues in Europe?
I think so. 𝗬𝗵𝗶 have chance, and I don't know how his name from Northeast. 45 number middle player. He 19 years old, but he's very good player. I like him, and I think so he have good future. I don't know how is forget surname, but he's good. Also Danta, very good player. I think so. Also he can, but he must get good confidence. Then he start to play well.
Yeah. I think it's very nice that you think some Indian players can play in the top leagues in Europe. But would you recommend anyone coming back home to Lithuania in one of the Lithuanian clubs? Have you suggested that by any chance to any of your Indian teammates?
Sorry again?
Is there any Indian player you would invite back home to Lithuania to play in your country's league?
Not yet, but one day, why not? It's possible. Need to play more time in India. I have more friends, and then I invite more. Have more chance.
Yeah. I think that's nice. So we have some questions from the fans here.
Yeah. Yes.
This is from a handle called Vishwax. So he asks, tell us about Super Muchins and B Stand Blues. What are your thoughts on these two fan clubs?
They're amazing. They're amazing fans. They support us when we have bad results, but they still believe in us. And what they show in game against Goa in semi-final, it was beautiful. It's every game we want to play like this game, when coming full, not full, but half and more stadium, half and more people. It was amazing show from them. It was I believe I feel now how I feel then, that time. It's amazing, and I can tell them thank you so much, and let's see how it's happening.
Yeah, you perhaps miss the noise, don't you? You miss being in the field in front of all the fans, amongst the noise. Look at you now. You're probably at home, and it's very quiet. And do you feel? Do you miss that?
Yeah, I miss football. I miss matches. I miss B Stand Blues. I miss amazing the stadium. It's it's our life to play football and to enjoy, to show for people. We like to do this, job.
So I'll ask you a kind of naughty question right now, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
I don't hear you.
I was saying I have a little bit of a tricky question for you. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But if you were put on the spot and you have to pick Peace Stand Blues or Super Machins, who would you pick?
Both.
Both. a very wise choice there. So.
I cannot choose, they both our fans, and they support us, and it's not respect to choose one or another one,
Yeah. So this handle called @Indian Football Facts asks you your experience in the Indian Super League.
It was a great experience with a little bit trouble in the first games, after I start to play well and I start to get some confidence. Team start to play well, everybody start to win, everybody start to be happy, and it was a great experience, and I happy what I come to India, and I hope come back, and continue what I start,
Now, I see those comments floating there, and a lot of people are saying, stay at CFC, stay at CFC. And I think that's really wonderful, the kind of impact you've had on those fans. I hope you stay in India, and if it's
I hope to, but it's fans, they very want, but Managaman, they don't do this, what I tell before, like CEO with me didn't speak 2 months, and it's sad, but what I can do, I must move forward, I won't continue in Chennai, but if they didn't speak, what I can wait, if I get some offer, I move another country, or I stay in India, or I stay in Chennai. You never know, let's see.
Correct. So the last question from the fans, from Shailaja Ramkumar, he asks who your favorite teammate in Chennaiyin FC is.
𝗬𝗫𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗏, if from foreigners.
Yeah, and so tell us a little bit about your relationship with 𝗬𝗫𝗂𝗧𝗏𝗏. So what do you guys do outside the locker room, outside the pitch? Do you guys go hang out?
Yeah, we go sometimes, to close to the beach. We go some malls, to restaurant, we spend a lot good time with Mas, and we still very good friends. And for sure, I go to Frankfurt to him, we meet together, with family, and we have a good relationship, and also I good have relationship with Goyan, with Dragos, with 𝗬𝗫𝗓𝗏, we have good team, and we have good friends,
Yeah, I think that's wonderful how you're all professionals on the field, but off the field there is a little bit of banter. There's a little bit of a friendly nature that you and the fellow teammates have. I think we've moved to the rapid fire round. Are you ready, Valskis?
Yes.
Okay. So without thinking, just one word or one phrase answer. Favorite football league?
England.
Favorite football club?
United, Manchester.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Toughest team you faced in the ISL?
Bengaluru.
Toughest defender you faced in the ISL?
Juanan.
Best goalkeeper in ISL this season?
Bengaluru goalkeeper.
Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Chennaiyin FC's performance this season?
8+.
One word for Anirudh Thapa.
Magic.
And if not a footballer, what profession would you choose as your career?
Basketball.
Basketball? Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch any of the basketball games in India by any chance?
No, no, no. I only watch in Lithuania. We have number one sport in Lithuania, and in my
Oh,
city, Kaunas, we have a biggest team in Lithuania, and they come every game, 20,000 people, and I go when I have time to watch them.
yeah. Um, so this is a tough question.
Yeah.
What changes would be implemented in the ISL to make it a better league?
To continue what they do now. Only need to continue. They only need to improve couple teams, and from 10 need to put also 2 teams more to play more games in the league. You must play more
Yeah,
games, not only 22 games. You must get
correct.
26, 27, then league improve, and a lot of players also come.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you, how's the women's football team in Lithuania? Is there a league? How do they face in the rest of Europe?
No, in Lithuania, not very good football women, but they have, I think so, 6 teams. They have a league, and one team very good. They playing sometimes Champions League, one team good,
Okay.
another team's so-so. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So keeping in mind that the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup comes next year in India, what do you think the federation should
Yes.
do for women's football in India?
Oh, in 1 year you cannot do nothing. You must do before, and I hope they did well, and they get good results,
Yeah. Let's hope for the best. I think it'll be one of the biggest spectacles in Indian football after the Under-17 Men's World Cup that happened in 2017.
Yes.
So, what is your ISL favorite 11 from the 2019-20 season?
Oh, I don't remember. I messaged you yesterday.
Yes. So for the fans who are listening, we had a little back and forth.
You can announce.
Yeah. So his 4-3-3 formation, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu at the goalkeeper position, Ashik at left wing, Wanan and Sabia and Prabir, the other 3 in the defense, Hugo Bumos Hernandez and Ahmed Jahu in the midfield. That seems like a very strong midfield there.
Very strong.
Yeah. And then Marcelinho, Roy Krishna and Farooq. Yes. So this is Valskis' top 11 in the Indian Super League. We'll be posting out a image version of this after the interview. Now we have one last question for you.
Yes.
What would you like to say to your fans in India? And if there's anything else that you would like to add after this, feel free to do so.
Again.
Okay. So I was saying, what would you like to say to your fans in India? And since this is the last question, in addition to that, if you have anything else to add on to say, if you want to express yourself, feel free to go ahead.
Thank you guys for support. I feel good, and I get a lot message from super merchants from Beast and Blues, what they want keep me in Chennai, and I hope I continue in India, and I hope with Chennai. And let's see what's happening, and good luck to everyone,
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful message. Now, I hope you and your family is safe. I hope all the fans at home are listening. Please take all the necessary precautions.
Yes.
We should not take this lightly. We should take this seriously. And I guess we can come out of this together. And hopefully one day we'll see you soon from the stands, from our TV sets.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to say also to all people in India to stay home, to be safe, and for sure we win this fight, and need to believe and need to little bit stay more time with families maybe at home, and we'll be okay soon.
Yeah. I think that's a wonderful message. So thank you so much for your time, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much to you too, Footiepedia, and see you soon, guys. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.